If you're not legit online, you're not putting in the effort to present yourself as a professional, well thought out entity, you're going to end up really hurting yourself when it comes to developing that trust. And
how do you define the intersection of PR and SEO, and why do you feel it is crucial today?
PR and SEO are not really a one or the other type thing. They very much should be paired together.
Kate Shaw is the kind of person who wears a lot of hats and somehow rocks all of them. She's the vice president of digital strategy at Adogy, founder of a local nonprofit, and even runs a real estate biz with her husband, all while raising 3 boys. In this episode, she opens up about building credibility, pitching to the media, and why standing out online isn't optional anymore.
What, according to you, is an underrated brand positioning strategy that businesses should be using?
Is offering exclusivity. So offering unique data or access to an exclusive announcement or something before competitors would have that chance. If you want to stand out, you need to understand what makes you unique.
So what makes the pitch so irresistible for journalists?
One of the most important things about pitching is
e-coffee with experts.
Welcome, Kate, to our show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Lovely. And before we move any forward, Kate, why don't you talk us through your journey a bit? Let's get to know you more, and then we jump into it, and a bit about Adogy as well, the agency, what you guys do, what you guys specialize in, and we'll take it off from there.
Yeah, my name's Kate Shaw, and I am from mid-Missouri area. And as you mentioned, I'm the VP of Digital Strategy for Adogy. And Adogy is a small boutique PR and SEO firm that helps small to medium-sized businesses get their brand credibility built and get out there and increase their organic search and organic reach. I enjoy working with clients directly. I enjoy supervising the process. It's all something that I have become very passionate about, and I just love helping people be successful.
Lovely. So Kate, you started Uplift mid-Mo, right? And what triggered that decision to kind of start this, and how did your marketing background shape its growth?
Yeah, so a little background on that. So Uplift Mid-Mo is kind of one of my little side projects. I'm a Christian, and I just felt like God was leading me to help find a solution for this revolving door of needs within my local church community, and that they were really struggling to help with. I wanted to help find a way to equip the churches in my community to actually help address some of the root issues that people were experiencing, and to just help create sustainability in my community. Aside from that, I had a lot of really capable people who joined in with me to obviously help me make this happen. But my marketing background was absolutely crucial for getting this thing off the ground and turning it into the successful entity that it is today. I think many small businesses, and especially nonprofits, really struggle with this credibility component. And that's where, the synergy between what I do at Adogy and Uplift kind of crossroads there. But it really takes time to prove what you say you're going to do. But when you have the right tools, you can present yourself in a way that says, hey, I'm the real deal. And I feel like so many businesses with limited resources really skip out on that component. But today, as well as I do, that if you're not legit online, you're not putting in the effort to present yourself as a professional, well thought out entity, you're going to end up really hurting yourself when it comes to developing that trust. And so that's where my marketing background in that was absolutely key. So some of the components were things like creating a website that looks and performs well, having professional materials and social presence, having well-performing back-end processes, just that, that credibility component, creating the necessary outreach like press releases just to get the word out to the local community. So this isn't just for nonprofits. This is a component that all businesses should take seriously.
Absolutely. Marketing is so much at the core of everything that we do now, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. And starting something like Uplift, is a no mean task, right? So what were the initial challenges that you must have faced in doing something like this? And tell us more, about those challenges. How did you overcome them? If in our audiences, if someone is planning to take that route, it'll be really helpful for them.
Yeah, starting a nonprofit is not for the faint of heart. And it's funny because the people that generally do often have the biggest hearts. And so, when you go to start a nonprofit, especially when it comes to the church community, it's a very much like you have to prove yourself kind of thing. And there's a lot of skepticism surrounding the intentions of nonprofits that crop up. You always always have to remember, to keep your costs low and to help make sure that you're not having a too high of a percentage of that the capital expenses, those type of things, those are always challenges. And then trying to grow when you have those limitations, you want to hire more people, but you don't want to hire people in a position that's going to just blow all your expenses out of the water so that it doesn't look like you're actually doing what you say you're supposed to do. So structuring it in a way that can add value while you grow, that's one of the biggest components for starting. I feel like even small businesses, it's the same thing, but nonprofits specifically have that unique challenge.
Absolutely. But now we know you have a deep pocket for sure.
Right.
All right. I hope I'm right in saying this, that it's more of a PR-driven digital agency, right? So how do you define the intersection of PR and SEO, and why do you feel it is crucial today?
PR and SEO are other key components in the same credibility arena that we're talking about, even with the whole nonprofit thing. I mean, PR and SEO are not really a one or the other type thing. They very much should be paired together. And I think we could both agree on that. So, I mean, earned media just boosts that credibility, while SEO creates that long-term visibility. And at Adogy, we incorporate those components into nearly every campaign that we run, just because we really feel like both play a super important part in that overall picture. That the Google prioritizing the expertise, experience, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness, the EEAT stuff we've all heard a lot about. Digital PR strengthens that in a way that, lower quality backlinks can't do alone. So having that component is good. Quality backlinks from those higher tiers, like 50 DA plus media placements, they improve the search rankings and they drive your organic traffic.
So talking about placements, Kate, I mean, you have placed brands in Forbes and the other big places out there. So what makes the pitch so irresistible for journalists? I mean, come on, give us some tricks there.
Yeah. So you know what? Pitching is such an art. It really is. And I feel like one of the most important things about pitching is timeliness. So is your pitch tied to breaking news or trending industry topics? I mean, that's one of the biggest things with pitching. But I think another thing that I learned over the years is to always ask the question, why does it actually matter to the reporter that you're sending it to? So putting yourself in their shoes and understanding that they have a beat, they have, some stuff that they're trying to accomplish, and how can you provide something to them that's going to make their job easier and be them good at their job. Another thing that's really been helpful to us is offering exclusivity. So offering unique data or access to an exclusive announcement or something before competitors would have that chance. And then just brevity, like that is so overrated or underrated, but get to the point in 2 to 3 sentences. Why should they care? Why now? And why you?
Absolutely. And talking about brand positioning strategy, what, according to you, is an underrated brand positioning strategy that businesses should be using?
Right. So many brands make this mistake of thinking, okay, cool, let's go compete in this big, broad category and expect that they're somehow going to stand out in that category. And the reality is that competition is so fierce in almost every industry, and trying to just shoot for the stars is awesome. I mean, don't get me wrong, but realistically, if you want to stand out, you need to understand what makes you unique in the space that you're competing within. And so that means, in my opinion, a good idea is to own a niche micro trend. So instead of competing in these broad categories, be the go-to expert on a specific emerging topic. So for example, instead of saying we're an AI company, position yourself as we help small businesses use AI to automate hiring. Or instead of we're a health and wellness brand, we specialize in stress reduction for remote workers instead, right? So those ways of getting into that specific industry and owning that really helps as you work to develop that on-site content that answers all the questions revolving around that niche. And if you do that, you're going to find yourself in a position where you can become the authority on this topic, which is going to obviously build your customer base and open doors for you on the media side as well, because people are going to want to share your content.
Absolutely. And what is also important here, Kate, I mean, we do that as an exercise, So when it is very important for the customers to understand their existing market base, in the sense that who all are your existing customers, what and why did they come to you? At times, while going after the big blue ocean out there, we forget on our existing customer base, in the sense, why did they come to us? What is our USP? For what factors are they using my product or my service? At times, while we're preparing these brand strategies, like you said, the USP is what exactly do you want to, kind of position yourself as. It is at times hidden in the fact that why your customers are using your product, right? They would give you like this at the back of the hand, why are they using your
Right.
product? Why are they using your service? What is the problem that you solve for them? Right. So yeah, at times, kind of going back and speaking with your happy customer base also gives you these answers, right?
It does. It really does. And some of it you can only get from that research. You really need to know your customers.
Absolutely. And talking about media attention, I mean, you have placed, like I mentioned, a lot of brands at a lot of big places, right? But yeah, I mean, you'd also come across brands who, kind of make these mistakes while trying to get media attention. So, what do you feel are these common mistakes, and how can these brands fix it?
So I think one of the most common mistakes I've witnessed is that it seems like even small and large brands both make this mistake.
Yeah.
I've worked for larger companies that have made this mistake, and I've seen smaller companies do it as well. But making it about themselves instead of providing value to the journalist audience. So, a good way to fix that would be to lead with insights, lead with data, lead with unique angles that solve real problems or just spark a conversation. So, example, instead of saying our product does XYZ, say, here's a surprising trend we're seeing in XYZ industry. So, adding that value component and not making it as much about you.
Right, absolutely. And then make the placement look a bit more natural versus, making it, sound and
All
look
about
like
you.
it's more about you
Right.
versus informational content for the masses at large, right?
Absolutely. Well, and there's so much value in earned media that, earned media is special because it's not like a paid ad where you're going out and you're crafting this information about yourself. Like you're
Yeah.
relying on a reporter to share with the world why you should be the center of attention right now. And I think that's a cool thing about earned media.
Absolutely. And that is why when you said, I could not have agreed more on it. It has to be well researched information, putting yourself in the journalist's shoes in terms of how would he approach that piece of information being published under his name for the audiences at large. If you have done the fact checks right, if it is a trending topic and it is informational, then obviously, then it makes, your offering or your pitch irresistible. So I'm 100% with you on that one. Yeah. Great. Moving on, Kate, you would have dealt with a lot of clients during your journey. So give us your favorite client story.
Favorite client story. Oh gosh.
And
Okay,
what
that's
was
a
the
tough.
service offering that you guys offered him?
Well, I personally love working with my clients in the real estate business, and that's just because I have a little bit of a real estate background. My
Okay.
husband and I own a property management company, so I do really enjoy that side of things. The one thing that's
Wait, wait,
really
wait. So
cool,
an agency, a non-profit, a real estate property, is there anything that you don't do?
there's not. No, I'm beginning to think there's a very short list of things I don't do, but my schedule is always packed. I also have kids, so believe me, it's always chaos. But I think that's the cool thing about being just an entrepreneurial person, right? Wanting to just be out there and make an impact wherever you are. But the real estate, the prop tech customers that I've had are just the coolest customers. And I think the reason I think this is because it's extremely easy to get reporters to pick up on AI content right now, just because AI is such a hot topic, and a lot of prop tech companies are integrating AI into their platforms, and then just like democratizing this investing opportunities for people. It's such a cool topic, and so many people are really like looking into that the search opportunities in the real estate the real estate industry are extremely good right now. And so I've seen great success with my PR SEO clients in the real estate industry. And that's just because I think driven by right now the trends that are happening and the things that are really moving and shaking in the industry.
Lovely. And then you did mention about, kids and chaos in one go. So that stuck with me. And
Yeah.
then I think, yeah. All right. I agree to this one as well. I have a 2-year-old. So,
Yeah, it's busy, always busy. I have three kids and a husband. So,
all right. All right. I get your point there. Perfect. Perfect, Kate. This has been a lovely conversation, but before we let you go, I would like to play a quick rapid fire with you. I hope you're game for it.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, your last Google search.
Oh, goodness. Google.
All right, you did that, right? Perfect. Okay, where do we find you on Friday evenings after office or after work?
After work on Fridays, we typically end up taking the boys out somewhere to eat. And we try to eat at home, got to save the money throughout the week. But on Friday nights, we usually go out and do something together.
All right, it's chaos with all the boys then. Okay.
It totally is. Yeah.
All right. We'll not grill you any further, Kate. This has been a great conversation. Thank you so much for taking out time to do this with us. I'm sure our audience would have found great value in the insights you shared. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, cheers.
Thanks so much for having me.